Explico el concepto de lo que el Antiguo Testamento llama las primicias, que es lo que hizo aquí Abel.
Now let me explain to you what the Old Testament presents to us as the first fruits of Abel.
Y nada más para que sepan cómo lo aplicaba Israel.
And just so you would know how Israel applies this.
En Horizonte no hablamos mucho del diezmo.
In the church, we rarely speak, in Horizonte, we rarely speak about tithing.
Y la razón no es que estamos en contra del diezmo.
And that doesn't mean that we're against tithing.
Simplemente no lo veo como el principio que predomina la Biblia acerca de cómo le damos a Dios.
It's simply not the principle we see that predominates in the Bible when it speaks about giving to God.
Lo que predomina es ese concepto de darle lo primero y lo mejor.
What predominates is this concept of giving the first and the best.
Pero lo que hacía Israel es que daban 3 diezmos.
But what Israel would do is that they would give 3 tithes.
Entonces, si quieres hablar del diezmo, pues eran 3.
So if you want to speak about tithing, it was 3 tithes.
Era uno para los trabajadores del templo, los levitas y los sacerdotes.
One was for the workers of the temple, which were the Levites and the priests.
Se convertía en su salario para que ellos pudieran trabajar.
That would become their salary so they would work.
Un diezmo era para el templo en sí, para poder construir y reparar y lo que fuera del templo.
One of the tithes was for the temple itself, for the maintenance and keeping everything going.
Y un diezmo cada 3 años era para los forasteros, para los pobres, para los necesitados y los desamparados.
And the third tithe, which was every 3 years, would be for the beggars, the homeless, and the people that were abandoned.
Entonces el judío daba 23% de sus entradas en bruto, porque eran, ¿cómo se dice? Agricultura, eso lo daban a Dios.
So the Jews would give 33%, 23% of their gross income. In their times, it was crops to Jesus.
2 de 10% al año y una de 10% cada 3 años, por eso 23.
2 which were 10% per year, 2 of those, and 1 10% every 3 years.
Y lo que hacían con algo que se llamaba las primicias,
And what they would do with something that was called the
que eso
first
era
fruits,
aparte del diezmo,
that was something besides of the offering,
es que cuando recibían la cosecha,
was that when they would receive their crops, the harvest,
hacían un acto de fe.
they took a leap of faith.
Y lo que decían es, sin saber cómo me va a ir en todo el año,
And they would do this without knowing how the rest of the harvest would go.
le voy a dar lo primero de la cosecha a Dios.
I'm going to give the firsts of my harvest to God.
No sé cuántos aquí son agricultores.
I don't know how many here are in agriculture.
Nadie, yo no. Bueno, a lo mejor unos cuantos.
Maybe a few, we're not.
Pero lo que entiendo es que la cosecha es un proceso de semanas o meses.
But what I understand is that the harvest is a process that takes weeks and months.
Que las primeras semanas que estás cosechando, no toda la fruta está madura, entonces no puedes cosechar todo.
And the first weeks of the harvest, not all of the fruit is ripe, so you can't harvest all at once.
Y lo que hacían es que de los primeros frutos
So what they would do is that the first fruits,
le daban a Dios.
they would give those to God.
Y lo que decían es, esto es un acto de fe.
And they would say this is a step and an act of faith.
Mi vida está en tus manos.
My life is in your hands.
No sé si va a llegar una plaga.
I don't know if a plague will come.
No sé si va a salir mal la fruta al final.
I don't know if the last fruits will be bad.
Pero antes de cualquier cosa voy a honrar a Dios.
But before anything else, I will honor God.
Uno pensaría que se esperarían hasta que tuvieran toda la cosecha para que supieran exactamente cuánto tienen y entonces dar una ofrenda.
One would think that they would wait until they had all of the harvest. That way they could see what they have and afterwards give their offering.
Pero entonces ahí están excluyendo la fe.
But doing that, they would exclude faith.
Debemos de dar de tal modo que nos causa a ejercer la fe.
We need to give in such a manner that it causes us to exercise our faith.
Que literalmente digamos, voy a dar esto.
We should literally say, I'm going to give
Y
this.
si Dios no respalda, no sé cómo lo voy a hacer.